She used to fold my napkin at family dinners, just a small thing. But she always did it, pressed it into a neat triangle, and placed it on my plate before I sat down. I held onto that image for years. I told myself that was love. I told myself she was the one person in the family who actually showed up. I told myself that, right up until the moment I found out, she had been trying to end my brother's life. For a house, for a name on a document, for money that was never going to be hers. If you have ever sat at a table with someone who smiled at you across the food and only found out years later that smile was a performance, you know there is a specific kind of damage that family does. A stranger never had access to the inside of your life. A stranger never watched you grow up, learned exactly where you were soft, and then decided that softness was a door. Family betrayal doesn't announce itself. It doesn't show up with a warning. It moves quietly, right underneath everything you thought was solid. And by the time you feel it, the foundation is already gone. Her name was Eleanor. She had been part of our lives for as long as I could remember. She was the one who showed up when our father got sick, the one who handled the phone calls, sat in waiting rooms, drove my mother home when she couldn't stop shaking. We called her the strong one, the dependable one. We had no idea she was positioning herself, making sure she was indispensable, making sure no one would ever think to question her. My brother had been chosen to run the family business. Our grandfather decided that, before he died, Eleanor had wanted it. She never said so directly, but looking back now, the signs were always there. A comment dropped at the right moment. A suggestion that made my brother look unprepared. A slow, quiet campaign to make the family doubt him and rely on her instead. We called it family looking out for family. We told ourselves she was just passionate about the business. We were not paying close enough attention, and Eleanor knew exactly how long she had before we did. The first thing she did was subtle. She brought someone new into our circle. A consultant, she called him. Someone with connections. Deals started falling through. Contracts went cold. Partnerships that should have held didn't. Everyone blamed the market. No one looked at her. She was at every dinner, every family meeting, expressing concern with the same face she always wore. The second thing she did was harder to see. My brother started getting tired. Not dramatically, just slower, quieter. The doctors ran tests and found nothing they could name. Eleanor recommended specialists. She sat with him in waiting rooms. She held his arm in the parking lot after appointments. We thanked her for it. We were thanking her for it. The third thing, the one I still cannot say without something tightening in my chest, was a night I found something in his room. A small object, hidden. I didn't know what it was at first. But a woman I had been dismissing for months, a woman I thought was being paranoid, explained it to me. It had been placed there deliberately by someone who walked in and out of that room freely, because we had never once thought to lock the door against her. She had been planning this for years. Not weeks, not months, years. Every holiday dinner, every hospital visit, every folded napkin, all of it running alongside something else entirely. There is a particular cruelty to family betrayal that other kinds don't carry. Because family gets inside before you know to protect yourself. They know you when you are small. They learn where you are soft. And the hardest thing to sit with, the thing that takes the longest, is not the anger. The anger is clean. The anger makes sense. What takes time is the grief. Grieving someone who is still alive. Grieving the version of her that I believed in for 30 years. Because that version felt real. She showed up. She folded the napkins. She cried at my father's funeral. But a person can do all of those things and still want something from you badly enough to burn everything down to get it. Eleanor never thought of herself as the villain. I'm almost certain of that. She thought she deserved more than she received. And when that belief grew large enough, it consumed everything else, including whatever love she once had for us. That is not a story about a monster. That is a story about resentment, given enough time and enough silence to become something unrecognizable. The people who hurt you most are rarely the ones you feared. They are the ones you never thought to. Eleanor is no longer part of our lives. There was no confrontation, no final speech. We simply stopped opening the door. Tonight, think of the family member you keep making excuses for. The one whose behavior you explain away to other people. The one you have been calling complicated, when the word you actually mean is dangerous. Write down one thing they did that you have never let yourself name out loud. Just one thing. Name it. You have been protecting someone who never protected you. The door closes the moment you stop pretending it doesn't have to.